I'm going to say this because I'm going to get a lot of heat. Might get sued. I don't want that. I might need to come see you in your office.
All right, so today we're talking about January 6th, Denver Broncos, PayPal, Hunter Biden, and a whole number of other things, including sports stuff. And Tom's son-in-law has come in to do some of that, talk about fantasy, some other stuff. And you wanted me to give Kurt Collins a shout-out for stem cell and PRP. So
I did,
welcome to Relevant Rants. I'm Mike Harvey here with Scott, Tom, and Chris. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
You didn't mention the reason why we did that, because we have a new show that's going to be dropping soon called Muscles Matter. And Dr. Collins came and explained to us PRP treatment, which is platelet-rich plasma. And Russel Wilson, who got injured last week, just came to LA and got that. But Kurt Collins also went on to say it's a prerequisite to stem cell.
So platelet-rich plasma, does that mean it has a whole bunch of little plates in there?
What they do is they spin it. I had it done, and I had stem cell too, and it worked great. And we spin it, and we don't spin it, they spin it, and it enriches the plasma, and then they inject it in the site. And you have to watch our first episode of Muscle Matters to get the full explanation of it. It was a lead-in, Mike.
Okay, and we'll be dropping that soon.
Perfect. So it really wasn't about Russell Wilson, his injury, or his bad play thus
I
far.
was just plugging our show. So,
Okay, but
I'm just plugging the show. So,
well, what show was it again? Let's go with just an ultra dirty plug.
Muscle Matters.
Muscle Matters,
because
guys.
There's a matter that involves muscles, and it's PRP and stem cell. Russell Wilson just got hurt last week. He came to LA and got the PRP treatment. I'm just saying, it's frontline news.
Yeah,
excellent lead on. Excellent lead on. I'm ready to go. What else we got, Mike? You take us to the next topic.
Let's bring up the video from Danny since we're talking sports.
Yes, let's roll with that. Let's get Scott rolling.
Hello, everybody. I'm Danny Jimenez, Tom Touchstone's son-in-law, and this is Sports Matters. So let's get to it. So first things first is we're going to discuss Barry Bonds and Aaron Judge. Now, Aaron Judge, great job, man. You beat Robert Maris's single season home run record. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that hasn't been touched in a long, long time. So good job, my man. Phenomenal athlete, just all around. Great outfielder, great hitter, of course. Man, you are definitely one of the best players, that we have seen in my lifetime, at least. But the discussion is Barry Bonds or Aaron Judge. Now, Aaron Judge, great athlete, 62 home runs. That's incredible. But guess what? That's not 73. 73 is obviously greater than 62. So up until someone beats that, Barry Bonds is still king. He's king of home runs. And now I know the discussion is steroids and all this stuff. And I would just like to say a couple things. But go ahead, chat amongst yourselves. Comments, leave them. We're very welcome to those. But in my opinion, I just see Barry Bonds being the king, and that's for a couple facts. Is that he never got busted. Speculation and probably some pretty good evidence, but he never got busted. And so if he didn't get busted then, and if the MLB never said anything then, when he was, breaking records and they were, climbing up on poles as, baseball was kind of dead. And I would say the Sammy Sosa, the Mark McGwire era, those guys, I mean, they livened up baseball. It made it watchable again. And I just don't think how you can apply an arbitrary standard now, almost 20 years later, right? Over 20 years later, to this record of 73. A lot of analysts have a lot of things to say because they love Aaron Judge, and so do I. But if you ask the players, they all say 73 is the standard. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton, I mean, that's his teammate. Aaron Judge is his teammate, and he goes 73 is still the number. And we can't just take that away, right? I mean, yeah, Aaron Judge is clean, right? Says he's clean, says he's good. But as Tom will be able to tell you, Tom Touchstone, former bodybuilder and Mr. California, 89, the stuff that was in the 2000s, right? Early 2000s, it is not the same stuff that's now. And you could see that. And there's a lot more stuff out there now PED wise, that you can take. And I mean, you don't have to take anabolics anymore. You don't have to take HGH anymore to get a great edge. But nonetheless, chat amongst yourselves. You know, I want an argument in the comments. So.
What
I think he did a good job. I'm proud of him.
He did.
I'm not sure if it is an argument or a rant that 73 is the number.
Isn't it?
I don't even necessarily dispute that. I mean, it is. I mean, but I think the holistic picture is
You're actually seeing a defense attorney develop an argument.
no. I'm not developing.
Well,
listen,
and also be at a loss for words at the same time. That's interesting. I've never seen Scott be at a loss for words.
well, if you let me talk, I won't be able to work. First of all, let me say this. I don't think, first of all, whether or not he was busted is an issue, because I don't think he did anything criminal. Are you talking about whether he's busted in baseball? Because if we look at that, he was tied to the Balco investigation, which was just about the biggest sports uncovering steroid issue there was. 73 a number, I think what's arbitrary, he mentioned the word arbitrary. I think what's arbitrary is Bonds has been out of the game a long time. And regardless of the records he broke, the home runs he hit, whether it's me or you or anyone else, he's not being led into the Hall of Fame. Should he? I think probably he should. I'm not necessarily saying the guy got up. The guy was a champion his whole career. I think the problem is the arbitrary part was there is a line of demarcation in baseball. This year, we found that this many people are tied to steroids, and because of that, we're not letting Sosa or McGuire or Bonds or any of these other people. We need to really address how we're going to deal with steroids and the historical importance it has in sports versus not. I think it's unfair. Whether Bonds was busted or not, he was tied to the biggest steroid investigation and later was brought on trial for obstructing that investigation. I think what's more important is it's poor of us to sit back with absolute no evidence information and say, well, Aaron Judge is too, because he's hit a lot and he's done that. There's just no evidence of that.
I don't think anybody said that yet.
No, I disagree. He very much inferred that. He very much inferred that, saying, well, you know what, they're not anabolic,
are we
but they're
saying that PEDs aren't involved now in athletics?
I don't think we're saying that. I'm saying we shouldn't assume that without having more information. I think that would be unfair.
I don't think they're near as rampant as they were in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Why would we say that?
Because of the new testing regimens and everything else.
So did anybody see the movie Invictus?
I did not.
No. Okay. Are we going to base our point on a movie?
No. It's a documentary about the Russians and their cheating.
Okay. So did we ultimately find out the Russians were cheating?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have we found out that anybody's cheating right now? Because
what's the Padres player's name?
Yeah, Tatis.
So he was actually caught.
Huh?
So they are testing They are testing the league. He was one that was caught.
Well, one of the things that I will say, that tests are made to be beaten, and have I beaten tests? Yes. All you need is a calendar. All you need. I mean, I'm just saying what I did. Have I helped other athletes beat tests? I have. And I'm just saying it's there. I'm the lab rat. I'm out there to say there's people working against the testing as there are to test, and most of the world is not trying to test. We'll just say that. We love big, powerful athletes. We love to see these guys on the field getting it. We're seeing them injured all the time, which it breaks my heart. The concussion rate is terrible. But I'm just saying they're having to come up with new helmets and pads and protection devices because these guys are wrecking people's lives, our bodies, with of their physical prowessness and the speeds and the weights now that are coming up to with the body fat. We can't just attribute to nutrition and methods because that will be debunked real quickly.
I mean, now 10 years ago, NCAA did open it up for all their Division I colleges to set up nutrition programs for all the student athletes. Prior to that, it was just a regular cafeteria meal plan, and they were eating whatever everyone was eating. Now they have full-blown nutritionists set up for the teams. So it is night and day from what it was 10, 20 years ago.
Whatever you want to believe, you can believe that the guys aren't doing any more drugs, but I think the average American will watch TV and watch any athletic event and talk about the abilities. And again, I love to talk about human progression. I love to talk about that stuff and the evolution in sports and muscles. And I do believe muscles matters. Well, we got to show them called muscle matters. Right. But I think most people will tell you that something is going on, and it's not just nutrition and training. Those of us that have been there, I mean, we know what the body's capable of. I mean, I'm just going to tell you today,
Tom,
the sport that I love is being tested at the highest level. And you can't tell me that there's now a 320-pound, 2% body fat man walking on this earth, and it's just because of the training methods. It's not. I mean, we all know.
But you can't, let me tell you what, you can't talk about football or baseball and what's happening and then trail it over and say that there's this 2% man, 300 in some other sport. What I'm saying, let's focus. Do you believe everybody in either football or baseball?
I think, I'm going to say this. I think everybody that's competing at the world level, and you can hate me, is doing something. Everyone's doing something illegal. You're saying, I want to make sure I'm specific. Yeah, something illegal. Yes. Well, no, I say not illegal, something that is banned. Because you go to ephedrine's banned. And if you think that's out of the game, it's still in the game. And so Tom
Touchstone's position today is every world-class or sports professional athlete is taking a banned substance. You guys write to him.
You're pointing to me.
No, well, he's to the right of you, Mikey.
I'm just
every single person is taking a banned substance.
I don't know if he's to the right of me, but he's sitting on my right.
But what they're going to tell you is we haven't been caught.
Right. Well, no. I think the bigger point here is...
Let's go back to Lance Armstrong. Right. Let's go back to all these athletes, and I'm not saying Lance is doing. I mean, I don't want to. Listen, I'm just saying I'm a realist. I've been in the game, and I've actually seen the game, and I've participated in the games. Tests are made to be beaten, and if you just come out and there again, you talked about the '80s. I mean, there again, I lived the '80s. I used to tell people all the time, wait till the swimmers get caught.
Right.
What happens? Swimmers get caught. I used to tell people, because our sport took the heat because we were the visual aspect of it. I did anabolic steroids and HGH through my whole career.
Right.
Did I ever get caught? Absolutely not. I never got caught. I was going to go.
So they had some pretty strict testing policies back then.
Yes, they did.
I can tell. Yeah. I never got caught, but they tested me all the time.
But I could tell you about the other players. And I won't. I'm not Jose Canseco. I'm not going to write an expose. But I'm just telling you, all the players that I would converse with and was around the sports that were doing them, and no one was getting caught either.
Let me put it this way. I think this is what would be cool. Just listen.
Okay, I'm going to retract that.
No.
I believe that
I'm not trying. I'm actually talking to retract you right now.
Athletes. I'm going to say this because I'm going to get a lot of heat. Might get sued. I don't want that. I might need to come see you in your office. So basically, I'm saying for athletes to get where they're at, I believe everybody has stepped over the line to get where they're at.
Okay. Let me say this though, Tom.
I do think
based on what we were saying earlier, this is what I do think is true. I think we would never get an honest opinion of the numerous athletes that are involved in sports, because I do think that if you ask any of them, which we do know historically, are you on them? Whether they are or they're not, they're going to say no. So I think it would be interesting if we could seriously find a guy that would be a trainer, someone that's a physical therapist in the professional field, like whether it's football, baseball, and get an honest opinion, because at the end of the day, they know.
Well, do they
really know, I would think.
Do they really? Because I had a lot of guys that were helping me that would not say it. Dan Duchesne and Jeff Feliciano. Dan Duchesne in the book Steroid Nation, the ESPN produced, was my drug guy.
No, I'm not talking about what they say. People that are on the inside, athletes are sloppy. Mark McGuire even showed us they did sloppy things.
Do you think they're going to rat at people? I think it's terrible.
No. Listen, I'm not assuming that. I'm saying that would be good. Wouldn't it be nice to really have someone? Because
who are we going to say? Now, Scott, every expert that you've had on stand, they say they're telling the truth. Do they all tell the truth?
No, you're trying to buck with me. Listen,
I am not. I love you.
Listen, no, you're trying. I'm actually trying to agree with you right now. Listen to me. As I'm looking at the camera and saying, I'm saying
we're in trouble today. We're in trouble today.
Your position. I'm laughing at the fact that you said everyone.
I retracted something.
Okay, but since you retracted that, and listen, there could be people out there that going, Winkler's out of his mind. Maybe
I'm out of my mind.
But my point is, maybe it's your perspective and where you come from.
It is. It is.
I don't know.
Now, you know who we could talk to?
Who?
The Angels guy that just got sent to 15 years in prison for providing drugs. That caused, what's his name's OD?
Skaggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skaggs, yes. And you know, what you brought up Canseco. What's interesting is when Canseco came out, what's important to note this, when he came out and wrote his book and said, everybody's using. Everybody bucked him very much. Oh, he's just drama. He didn't make it in the leagues. He didn't keep his money. He wants to make extra dollars. Literally within what? Months, a year, whatever. That's when actually we start seeing all of the tests coming. So I don't want to sit there and downplay what you're saying. I'm just telling you, it would seem hard for me for that to happen. But again, I'm not a professional athlete. Hey, and now listen, I know we beat up earlier. We did the Aaron Judge thing, which till over. I have a more pure sports issue right now.
Okay.
We are now just coming up on week 5, week 6, right? My rant is this. Do you know how bad it is when your team already stinks at this level?
Yes,
What do we do for the next 12, 13 weeks? Because I'm a Raider fan. I went in hard saying this is our 12-5 season. I had all these hopes. And when you open 1-4, what do we do? Do we
Can you get back to 12-5?
I think theoretically could, but it doesn't look good right now. We keep losing in the second half. What do we do with the sport?
14 points.
Chris
Well,
keeps
no,
saying,
17.
Chris keeps saying, well, he's just throwing the towel so we get a good draft pick. Right?
Oh, my God.
He's Cowboys fan.
Okay, now that's what I said 2 years ago when we didn't have a quarterback.
Okay.
Yes.
But what do we say about other teams? Are there those that love other teams that are doing bad?
You know, I think you have to have an AFC and an NFC team.
I like that idea a lot.
I think we're beyond just having one team, because I'm just telling you like it is. I was a Packer fan through the 80s and 90s.
Right.
You know,
Brett Favre era.
No.
before
Brett
that.
came at 92.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was
That's 90s.
there were some tough years before then.
Magikowski.
When you ended up with when Bart Starr was a coach, it wasn't good.
Right.
You know, he was a better player than coach. He's, God rest his soul. I mean, he's dead. But I'm just saying, I lived it. I actually had a chance to tell that
It's
to
a
Bart
rough
Starr.
time. When you're a sports
I did.
guy.
I got to tell that to
and
Bart
listen,
Starr.
I really like the AFC, NFC idea. But I like the Rams just because they're a local team. But maybe I need to start selling it because, dude, I go into every season hot for my team, and they've been just killing me the last decade.
You've got to have a favorite.
Just the past decade?
Because when Brett Favre came in 92, when that 92 came, us Packer fans were all in. Everybody that jumped on the bandwagon don't remember the early years after the Super Bowl wins that we just stunk.
No, I agree. What's interesting is Brett Favre was kind of an anomaly.
Yeah.
You know, he went to Southern Miss and he got drafted by Atlanta. He really wasn't supposed to be that good. You guys picked him up after he got traded
Atlanta.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the guy just... Because I'm a huge Favre fan. I think Favre, regardless of what's going on in his life right now, I think he epitomizes what a hard-playing football player.
Gunslinger.
294
consecutive starts.
at the quarterback position.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, how many times a game do you get hit at the quarterback position?
And how many times does the guy just come out limping or have his finger stuck out like this? And he always, I tell you what, a modern day comparison to me, the Stafford kid for the Rams, he's a tough, gritty kid.
Tough kid.
And I like those. So I really like the AFC, NFC thing.
I've
done that lately.
I'm going to choose the Eagles right now for my NFC team. See if that helps me out.
Jump in on it.
But they're going to lose Sunday.
They may.
To my Cowboys.
Cowboys
we
game.
got
Well, so when you go back to that, you have Dak Prescott or
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Where are you at with that one?
Well, I'm ready for. I want Dak back.
Okay.
But
my son-in-law Danny is saying the same thing. I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Just so we know, is Danny a Cowboy fan?
Yes, he is. Hardcore.
Wow, he looks Cowboy. He looks like a Cowboy fan, Danny.
He's converted my daughter.
I could have guessed it.
He's converted my daughter.
No.
Yes.
You know, I'm a diehard Dodger fan for baseball, so the playoffs are good. They play tonight. My youngest child was converted to a Giants fan under my belt about 10 years ago. And I understand the conversion, but this is what I love. Right now, October, with the season starting to change, the weather, we have football and baseball going. And it just kind of, and this is a great time of year. It rolls into the holiday season.
You can take a Sunday loss and go into a great victory in the first round of the playoffs with the Dodgers and the Padres.
And then walk outside and not sweat.
Yes.
Because it's only 80 degrees or so. This is a wonderful time of year, guys.
And then we just had preseason
And
basketball.
I was excited to see the Padres won that game.
They did.
No, they won the second.
the second
one.
game.
Yeah,
but-
Yeah.
but-
We played tonight, 5:30.
So we have a Dodger
Hey, I
hater.
just like
we
to
have
see
a
anybody-
Dodger
I could
hater.
tell. I could tell by his little Padres statement, but I'm going to
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah, he's a Yankees
Anyway,
fan.
Hey,
Tom and I actually talked about this beforehand, and we said, "Hey, let's really go at each other regarding steroids."
Right on.
So it was a good time.
Hey,
This was a good show.
I'm a steroid addict. I mean, I do not hide my drug abuse because I had stage 4 kidney disease, attributed in my belief to my anabolic use. I'm now down to stage 2, and I've got heart issues, which we all know anabolic steroids hardens arteries, and I've got that problem. So I've always been the guy that said, I did it. I'm a lab rat. I abused them.
So if you guys enjoyed the conversation about sports, being heavy sports show almost today.
Yes.
We're going to be giving you more of that because
Yeah.
Scott and Danny, and we're all going to be part of
Can't
that.
wait.
Yeah.
This is really
Chris?
right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I provide some legal advice, but I'm really good with sports advice. Come to me for fantasy questions,
Fantasy
guys.
questions.
There you go.
So, what is it? Prop 29? Are we on Prop 29? Or are we off
I think
29?
it's 27 and 28?
20, 27, 20, is it 27?
26 and 27.
26, 27,
sports
I
betting?
believe. Yes.
Yeah, I want my personal belief
No,
on it is.
do we need to say it?
We
I
can
mean,
make it. You
Yeah.
can say it.
okay.
No, well, go ahead if you want.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking no on 26, the Native American casino one. Yes on 27,
What does
the
that
mobile.
give us? What is that? I mean, I'm confused. So what does that?
I'm with
do?
Tom.
I'm asking because I
I
want to
vote
know.
confusion.
Because 26 will legalize sports betting
You know,
in Indian casinos, and it'll give them true Vegas games like roulette and craps.
Oh.
But it's only on Native American land.
Okay.
27 will give you mobile sports betting with all the big boys.
Taking
The
money
Vegas-
away from the tribal land.
So if you
Yeah.
vote, can
Okay.
you
So,
vote yes
which
on
one
both?
do you like?
You can.
But it's not- but
I
they-
like
they're-
27.
Okay.
Because then it'd be open
But
statewide.
are they contradicting
Yes.
propositions? Okay.
Yes. So if they're both approved, there would have to be a legislative fix, and then you leave it in the
Because then
hands
they would cancel each other out.
Yes.
What way do you think it's leaning?
They're both going to fail. It sounds like.
Really?
Yeah.
Which would take us to where?
Allegedly.
If they both
Would-
go down,
Allegedly.
gotta start over at now. Okay.
Yeah, because there's a constitutional ban on it, so
Okay.
we have to have it go through the people to get rid of the constitutional ban.
But it doesn't,
So
doesn't get rid of betting, though, does it?
No, I don't think anything's going to
even
get
in
rid of it.
California.
It doesn't still go on anyway. All they're doing
If
is
not, Tom knows a good
Yeah,
bookie.
just overseas books are wide open.
right.
All right, guys.
All right.
Are we good to wrap up?
Yeah, we are. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great
Good
day.
show, guys.
God
Take care.
bless.